To begin, let's determine whether x is positive or negative and whether y is positive or negative. We'll begin with y. Let's assume that y is a positive number. What happens to our second equation here? Well, we'll plug in a positive number for y and we get the following. Notice that if y is positive, then these two terms cancel out, meaning that x must be a positive 6. Now before we assume x equals 6, let's plug 6 into our first equation. When we do so, we see that y must equal negative 5. However, we just assumed that y is a positive number, so if we conclude now that y is negative 5, we have a contradiction. So y cannot be a positive number. In fact, we can conclude that y must be a negative number. Now let's examine x. Let's assume that x is a negative number. Let's see what happens when we plug this into our first equation. When we plug a negative number in for x, we see that our two terms here will cancel out, leaving us with y equals 7. However, we earlier determined that y must be a negative number, so once again we have a contradiction. So x cannot be a negative number, x must be a positive number. Now that we know x must be positive and y must be negative, we can make some conclusions. If x is a positive number, then our first equation here can be simplified to be 2x plus y equals 7. If y is a negative number, then our second equation can be simplified to be x minus 2y equals 6. Now we have a system of equations and we can solve this. When we solve this, we get x equals 4 and y equals negative 1. So to find our sum, x plus y, this is equal to 4 plus negative 1, which equals 3, so our answer is C.